Welcome, everybody. I don't know if I shrunk or if the podium's taller. Eric, did you notice anything?
Yeah.
Is the podium taller?
2 inches tall.
Huh?
It's 2 inches taller. It's got wheels on
Okay, because I feel like I'm hiding back here. Now I need a step stool. I'm pretty sure. Okay, Jay, are you our Rotarian of the day? I'm standing on my tippy toe.
So this is Memorial Day weekend, or has been, so we thank you for the gift of freedom that you've given. We know that it did not come without a cost, that many men and women have given their lives in service for our country and for the sake of our safety and our freedom. On this Memorial Day, we think not only of the men and women who have fought bravely for their country, but also those who are currently in service. We ask that you grant them blessing and protection when they are on duty. May they find the comfort that they need in you as they spend their time away from their loved ones. And may they find strength for the challenges they face. So if you would join me, please, now in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible. Before we test the things that we say and do, first, second, third, fourth,
Guest and raffle. Eric, good deal.
We got no guests today. But maybe this Lindy would help us by pulling the tickets. One more time.
I failed. I have a ticket. There we go.
We got 274-5450. 5450.
5450.
All right.
Two in a row. Okay.
That's right. So. All right. Okay. Get down. All right. You looking for the king of the snow. And close. It's the 8 o'clock.
Maybe next week. All right, thank you. Let's see. Prayer requests. Do we have an update from Halsey?
Oh, no.
I have not talked to all.
I know.
And Jeff?
Jeff to that.
Okay, good. All right, just keep them in your prayers. Do we have any other prayer requests?
Yes, my wife's family, they had a tragic loss in Gordon last week. The fire claimed that the 2 lives, the husband and wife, my wife's aunt and uncle, funeral will be this weekend. So keep our family in thoughts and prayers.
Most definitely.
Thank you.
All right. Any other prayer requests? Okay. Let's see. Community events. What week are we on? Is this this is 5th week? Okay, so first Friday will be coming up. Next Friday. Okay, Beach Bash downtown Millie. And then June 1st, Magnolia Ray Market Day. And the Marla Art Center exhibits by Betty Snyder and Denise Thompson. And always first and third Fridays are the Millie Farmers Market. Okay, any other community announcements? No? All right, club announcements. Let's see. Frederick, you want to help us talk about club announcement?
Sure. Just one question first.
Everybody hold up your pair of glasses that you bought today.
Already put them in the bag.
Jennifer, did you bring this today?
No,
Oh.
no, I already put.
I brought all the glasses that
Oh,
we have.
yeah.
So there's 56 in that bag, and they're almost busted when I came in, and there's about 10 in that bag.
Okay, good deal. So we have about
Six.
66,
But roughly,
about 35 away from my goal. Okay, good deal. A big increase over the last week, so kudos and thank you all for bringing those in. But we're looking for that golden number of 100. All right, I got some people at work already on the hunt to find some glasses that they have. And want to donate, but I think this weekend, is this the last Thursday of the month?
mhm,
It is the last.
It
Thursday.
is. But we can still bring them next week.
Okay, good deal, good deal. Next week, if you could, please reach out to anyone that you know, that really wears glasses, you'd be surprised. They all, most of everybody that has a pair or two that they can bring in. But yeah, reach out to those, the people that you know and see if we can make our goal to 100.
Alright,
The second thing I have is the summer food program of Baldwin County is ongoing, it's going on. I think Terry went by today, Jerry's still there. You were there too, Tamara was there, and then Terry was there as well.
okay.
Terry's name Jeremiah was there, you can see Jeremiah was there. So that is going on, if you're interested, please see after the meeting, get signed up. And then there was one other
She
thing.
said they need a lot of help.
Okay.
Tamara said, that they had stacked. You wanna tell, what did you say, Tamara?
When I was out there today, they had volunteers that had worked yesterday, and they were bagging up milk for the kids. So they were putting in for each bag 14 different milks for them to have for, I guess, the upcoming week. And
Right.
they said that they were processing 1,000 cases with 27 milks in each one per week for the kids. So when we went in, it was the same place where we were for Thanksgiving. If you think about the very far row of tables, that entire area, I took pictures, were stacked 3 or 4 deep of those bags.
Yeah.
And the amount of us that were there today, close to matching that number. But you were going as fast as you could go, so, it looked like they needed help.
Yeah, they did an amazing job today. I saw those pages, they were all stacked high. That event, that's going on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, between 9 and 1 p.m. So even if you don't go through the channel for signing up and find some time to just drop in, I mean, you literally you will fall into a assembly line and just start doing something. Again, they need all the support they can, get this year, so, feel free to open it. And I don't know the Juneteenth, if you want to talk about it.
Yeah. You know, we did agree to sponsor the Juneteenth celebration. It is on a Saturday, so it's not actually on Juneteenth, but it's on a Saturday. With our sponsorship, we can put up a tent and hand out or spread the word about Rotary at this event. So we were gonna look for volunteers if you wanted to work the Juneteenth celebration. It's on what day? 15th, 17th?
It's on Saturday, June 15th.
Okay, Saturday, June 15th. So, I would personally like us to have presentation there, as a sponsor. So if you're interested,
People sign up already.
you've had 7 already? Oh, wow.
That's
And
not-
what are the hours?
Don't know the hours, but I'm thinking it's gonna be a all day event.
Okay.
Most of the day event. I did talk to Mark, and if we get a good pool of volunteers, we may be able to do shift work.
That's what I'm thinking, yeah.
So, yeah, just if you're willing to volunteer some time, on that day, it's a great opportunity to
Okay.
kind of be in the community.
Okay,
So, yeah.
all right. And so we probably need some brochures or something we can hand out. Yeah, so,
Get on that.
Yeah. all right, so that's coming up.
Fred, can you, the spreadsheet where we all signed up for what days to be in the school to help the meals, can you send that out for those of us who didn't write down what they signed up for?
Okay, yeah, I'll get up.
Okay. All right, any other announcements? No, Tamara, you wanna come up and introduce our guest? We got one? Oh, I'm sorry. Hey, second.
I was just wanting to give an update on, foundation stuff and everything, information and all that, as far as the year is concerned. At the beginning of the year, the board and all put together goals as far as annual fund giving and all that. The goal that they set was like $14,000. As of right now, we're sitting at $10,075. We're just a little under $4,000 of reaching our goal for annual Thanksgiving. Red's fixing to cut me a check for a good bit of money so that will lessen that even more. But I did figure up the amount with the number of members that we have, the amount that we would all gave, the amount that we would have to give would be about an average of like $65 a piece. If anybody would like to do that, just come see me. I can take the money if you want to give it to me. Not saying you have to do it today or whatever, but maybe next week or over the next month, we still have a month that we'll be able to get done. We got to do it like we do. But outside of that, I mean, plus I also had your information of where you sit at as far as being the next level Paul Harris fellow. You want that information, I would have that. I did notice some other goals that we had set, service projects, we've already got that goal. Polio plus funding, we've already done. Aaron did have a goal of one maker gifts, which means maker's owner, give him $10,000, or, you know, attributing over the years of getting to that maker gift. Right now, I don't see somebody that's close to that at this point. So I'm not really striving to get that right now, but we do have a goal of one for Quest Society and one for the one of what a benefactor is. That's basically somebody that's pledging to give $1,000 to the Rotary Foundation at their time of death, which we used to call it $10. I know that's not a good term, but basically we're not here to worry about it once that happens. So, one, you know, we've got 3, I think, in our club already that are myself, Jennifer, Jan. You know, if you're willing to make a pledge of $1,000, it's really simple, just a little bit of paperwork that we have to do. And we can meet that goal very real simple by just having one person to decide to do that. But any of this stuff or any of the things that you would like to get or try to see what your information is as far as where you're at, I've got it. You can come see me. I'll be glad to sit down and talk with you about it.
Okay, thank you. All right, any questions about foundation or the giving to the foundation? No? Okay, all right, Tamara?
All right, thanks, Erin. Wow, this really is different.
It is.
We're gonna have to come up with something. Yes. Okay, I want to thank you, Mr. Jimmy Eubanks, for recommending today's program speaker. When we think of agriculture in our state, we mostly think of peaches, Vidalia onions, peanuts, and such. Oh, that's good, thank you. Sorry. Our guest today owns and runs several farms, one of which has a citrus focus. So here to tell us more about Georgia's growing citrus industry, please welcome Lindy Savell, owner of Georgia Grown Citrus.
I'm gonna put my timer on to make sure, and I'm plenty tall, so we should be good. Can everybody hear me? So do I need to use a microphone? No? Thank y'all for having me. I talk with my hands and I have a lot of goodies to show you, so a microphone would just probably get in the way. I have 2 questions for y'all, and you can't answer it, and your friend there. Oclockonee, Georgia. Anybody ever heard of it?
What's that again?
Oclockonee, Georgia. It's a metropolis. That's where my husband and I live. It's in North Thomas County. So we're in the southwest part of the state. That's the first question. Second question is, who in here has a citrus tree? Any sort of citrus tree? What kind is it?
10 years old, first time since I planted, it's got loaded with lemons.
Okay, yay, probably a Meyer lemon. Do you know? Okay. Mayor?
The Meyer lemon on the south side, penthouse in 27A.
Okay, Meyer lemon,
Lemons and tangerines and a lime.
lemons and a lime. Wow, okay. Anybody else have any citrus? And do y'all know what a satsuma is? Satsuma, anybody know what a satsuma is? It's a mandarin orange, about the size of a tennis ball. And it's a zipper peel, so the peeling zips right off. You can take the peeling off with one hand.
What I've got instead of whatever,
It's
a hybrid type plant.
So a satsuma is a mandarin orange, mandarin tangerine. Yep. So I'm gonna try to move through these here. Might need you, Eric, because it's not advancing. Nope. We had it going earlier. I see it's advancing here, but not there.
Shoot. Well, let's try.
Did I hit the timer? Oh, I didn't hit it yet. Okay. Can't get it. There we go. This is just my contact information. I'm gonna jump right into it here and I'm gonna try to stay on, okay, now you got it moving there, but not here, but that's okay. I can look behind me. This is where we are in the state of Georgia. We're growing citrus in 45 counties, so it's kind of the Bible Belt. Goes across and up. 45 counties, that's really, I had this presentation, I should have updated it last night, but we are over 150 growers now. So, and there are 4 certified nurseries in the state and 2 packing facilities. When I say certified nursery, we have a nursery and we have a grove. Our nursery is inspected once a month by USDA and every other month by Georgia Department of Ag. It's tested twice a year by both. And the reason we have all that certification and testing and inspecting is to protect our industry, our growing commercial industry in the state, as well as protect you if you're a homeowner to disease. If you travel any in Florida, you'll notice that Florida has been decimated by citrus disease. The groves that used to be on Highway 27 are now mowed down and growing with lots of buildings. So Florida's lost 80% of its citrus production. Yeah, it's sad. And I'll talk in a second about why that is. Okay. Maybe you should just stand up. Let's see.
Either it's moving or it's not showing.
It's not moving. Why? Okay. What do you have to grow citrus in the state of Georgia? There are 5 things. When people come to us as a commercial grower to our nursery and they say, why? What do I need to grow citrus in the state? We tell them these 5 things. Citrus does not like wet feet. If you have wet soil, you know, down in Ware County and the eastern part, southeast, it's lots of pine trees that grow there. That is not a place we want to grow in citrus because it needs to have soil that drains well. On the opposite end of that, you need an adequate supply of water because we freeze protect our trees, and I'll talk about that in just a moment. You need wind protection to keep the wind in the northwest coming onto the citrus tree, so you need some sort of protection, a windbreak. Good quality trees. I always put that one in there because, you know, we are in the nursery business and we want you to get the tree on the right. And then you have to have patience and staying power. Patience because you plant a tree today, it can produce fruit the next year, but it's probably not going to be healthy for that baby tree because it's going to break limbs and its energy needs to go into growing itself. When people buy a tree, we say sleep, creep, leap. Sleep the first year, creep the second year, leap the third year. Okay, All right, here we go, drum roll, yay. So there are risks in growing citrus. Now, we have, on that map that I showed you, there are 4,000 acres in the state. That's over 500,000 trees. We put about anywhere from 150 trees to 175 trees per acre. So, what are the risks? Weather, pest, disease. Weather. Let's start with that one. That is our grove in the winter of 2016-17. Little baby trees in the ground. And we put a mister, it's called a microjet, shoots out water at 14 gallons per hour per tree. 14 gallons per hour per tree. At 36 degrees, we turn this on until the temperature drops below freezing, and we don't turn it off until it gets back up above 36. December of 2022, we had that crazy freeze. It was 17 for 4 straight days. Killed things that, killed our bottle brush tree. That's not supposed to, it's supposed to make it through cold weather. 17 degrees, 4 straight days. This ran 4 straight days. 14 gallons per hour for 4 straight days. We had a lake, frozen lake out there. But it worked. It saved our grove. The idea of this is, and you'll see, these are short. They're down low on the trunk of the tree. The idea is, if you protect where the tree's been grafted, and all of this foliage dies from the freeze, but the bud union, just a little bit above that bud union is alive, you still have a tree. It'll come back. If you don't protect it, this is going to die, and all you'll have left is a rootstock. So we put one of these on every tree in our grove. The other thing that growers are using are tree wraps. Put these wraps around them. That gives a little wind protection, freeze protection. And then in Florida, because they have so much disease caused by an Asian citrus psyllid, which is this guy, little bitty thing. That's what's killed Florida's industry, Asian citrus psyllid. It'll bite the tree, you won't know it for 5 years. So they came up, the state of Florida, and this company called Tree Defender, came up with a netting that a psyllid cannot penetrate. It also is not a burrowing insect, so it doesn't fly down and fly up. So they just hang these on the tree. Now this one has landscape fabric on the bottom, because I only carry the variety that homeowners want to use. And this one also has a zipper. Somewhere in here it has a zipper. Yeah, there it is in the front. So in their research, University of Florida and USDA learned that this will not only keep out the insect, but if you take one of these microjets and you put it on the inside of this will not freeze, and it makes an igloo. So the outside becomes crusty and hard, and the water coming out of the ground is 67 degrees. So it never drops to freezing inside of this. It'll be a crusty little tree, but it'll be alive. And the other thing they learned in their research is that this screen gives just enough shade that it takes heat stress off the tree. So a baby tree does better because it's not stressed out by the heat. So two temperature things will kill a tree. Too much cold, too much heat. It just shuts down. We are in the process on the drive up this morning. I was on the phone trying to get shade cloth for our new greenhouse because it's starting to cook in there. I mean, it's 92 outside, it's 120 inside that greenhouse. So anyway, it's a trifecta. Pretty cool little invention. This is the only size we carry. We can special order 12-foot trees, and then once it gets above that, the only thing to freeze protect it with is one of these. Our grow we planted in 2016, and obviously we can't put a tree defender on it, but we have one of these on every tree.
That citrus cell, insect, get the mature trees also.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. What it likes is the flush, the new flush. It'll go right for that. It'll bite the tree. It basically is a hardening of the arteries for a tree. Takes a while for you to know it, but it shuts down the tree completely. The fruit will be.
This far up, yeah.
No, not this far up. It is in Georgia. We do have the psyllid in Georgia. And some of the counties that border Highway 95. And what we learned is that the trees that have them were purchased at a roadside stand in Florida years ago, when we didn't have protection against bringing in things. Now, nothing can come into the state of Georgia that's not from a USDA certified nursery.
Insecticides kill it.
I'm sorry?
Will insecticides kill it?
Kill the insect?
Yeah.
Yes. But you gotta get them.
Or
You gotta get them. Mhm.
You got spray for them?
We do, we do.
Spray them on the tree or spray?
Well, we don't have them in our grove, and there's only a few counties that have this psyllid. We have not made the connection between a tree that has disease and a psyllid on the tree yet. So we don't know if the trees came in. Remember, it takes 5 years. So we don't yet know if those trees came in with the disease, or if an infected psyllid somewhere that we haven't found bit that tree, made it infected. So lots of research to be done yet in Georgia.
What's the first symptom you see of a tree that's infected?
The leaves start to turn, they're mottled. In other words, one side doesn't match the other. Most leaves, are asymmetric, have symmetry. Yeah. Okay. This is just a picture I put. Look at this. This is a entire field covered, acres and acres covered in that screen. It's called Cups, Citrus Under Protective Screen. It's very expensive, but Florida growers, they are still fighting to save their industry. So they're doing things like this. This is a homeowner. That's the style I used to carry, but I like the landscape fabric and it helps with weeds and that sort of thing. That's a picture inside there. And then that is a field of individual tree defenders. So people are, they're still fighting strong. I just put these pictures in here so y'all can see how those microjets kind of work. That is a picture not in our grove, but of a grove. So you can see the idea of the freeze protection down low.
So what's the thing on the bottom left?
That is called a tree teepee. If you watch Shark Tank,
That's what I thought it was, that's what I was asking.
yeah, Johnny, that invented the tree teepee, he says, Lindy, why don't you carry tree teepees? And I said, well, I like tree teepees, but I like these better. So I was honest with him. I just said, this protects the whole baby tree. And you can use this for about 3 years, and the tree will outgrow it. This you can only use for 2 years, because the idea is you put this on a tree and you leave it on there for 2 years. You don't take it off, because it's either fighting cold, fighting heat, fighting bugs. After 2 years, you got to take it off and put it on your tomato plants. We have a booth at the Sunbelt Expo in Moultrie. I don't know if y'all have ever heard of that. And blueberry growers love these because it keeps birds. So lots of uses for it.
Where can you buy those? You just buy them
No, from me.
online?
I'm a Georgia. No, I'm the Georgia distributor for this company, so, yeah, from us. This is also another, concept that's coming. So you remember I said in the very beginning about doesn't like wet feet? Well, if you are in Ware County and you just want to plant trees and you got, not so good draining soil, you can mound it up and grow it that way. And that way, when you're putting 14 gallons per hour to freeze protect, it's running off. And this reflective mulch, you can't really tell that's reflective, but it is. It's supposed to also help with bug control.
Reflective mulch, is that what you said, reflective? mulch?
Reflective mulch. I'm not a fan of it, but some people love it. What happens is when you put that reflective, it's like tinfoil, you step on it and or aluminum foil, you step on it and it's crunched and eventually it dries from the sun and you've got crunchy metal fabric that you're walking on that's just going everywhere. Oops. Did it jump ahead? Okay. I'm trying to get to the nursery part. All right, there we go. I promise y'all, I have more than one shirt. I don't know how I ended up wearing the same shirt that is in all the pictures. One of the things that I wanted to talk to y'all about is patio. I was talking to someone earlier. A patio tree versus a tree you can put in the ground. If you buy a tree from Lowe's or Home Depot or any chain, more than likely that tree is probably not going to be, would not have been grown in Georgia. We use a coal hardy rootstock. That is a must for a field application. And it's really a must for a homeowner as well. But you've got thousands of trees in the field, you can't baby all of them. This is a grafted budded tree. I'm gonna pass this around. So you kind of see there's a little crook in it right there. That's where we grafted it. So we grow the rootstock that's coal hardy. I can take a coal hardy rootstock and I can take a bud from a mother tree. Now all this has to be certified. The mother has to be certified, the buds have to be certified, the seeds gotta be certified, the house has to be certified. You gotta walk through a certified spray down dude. There's a whole lot of certification going on. We can take this rootstock and we can make it a lemon, a lime, a tangerine, a grapefruit, whatever, anything citrus. So I tell people, if you don't buy your tree from me, that's good. But just make sure that you're getting, number one, a certified tree, but number two, a tree that's coal hardy. Because if you buy it somewhere else, you don't know if its rootstock is coal hardy or not. And I don't know how the University of Georgia came up with this statistic, but a homeowner will buy and let die and buy and let die 7 times before they give up. But if you have a 17-degree freeze and it's not on a coal hardy rootstock, don't bother covering it up because it's not going to make it unless you dig it up and bring it inside. That's on a tree planted in the ground. Pass this around if you want. This is a key lime tree. This is a key lime bush. Now I can make this bush a tree by cutting off its bottom limbs, and it's now a tree. This is not grafted. This has to go in a pot because it's not on a coal hardy rootstock, but it makes a beautiful potted plant. If you live in Atlanta, or if you live in, we ship trees. We drop ship for 5 companies and we ship our own. We ship from Maine to Washington State and down. If you're in Maine, you might as well buy a tree that's not grafted because you're gonna have to put it in a pot anyway, But see the difference? Patio tree, put in a pot, grafted tree, can go in the ground or can go in a pot. We need to honor. This is, the bush is grown from a cutting. And this is a satsuma tree. 60-something% of all of our trees, 67% of the trees planted in Georgia are satsumas. That's not good. We're trying to flatten that line on down. 3 years ago, 90-something% of trees planted in Georgia were satsumas. Satsuma is good for about 2 months. And then they start getting soft. You can't ship them. You can't pick them. They get mushy. So 2-month window is not enough for an industry in Georgia. We have got to have 4 months, 5, 6 months to be even better. So we, as the Georgia Citrus Association, have been pushing growers to put in other varieties, and they are. Anyone here ever had a Cara navel, red navel? We're growing red navels in Georgia now. How about a sumo? Anybody ever heard of a sumo? S-U-M-O, not the wrestler, but the orange. Oh, there we go. Sorry, I didn't know I was gonna make that noise, but now you guys know. A sumo, I'll be quick, is it is a Tangor Mandarin cross. Everyone says it's the best. If you have one, it's the best you've ever eaten. They sell for $3 and $4 per piece of fruit at Costco, which is supposed to be discount. Good deal. $3 and $4 a piece. When we first started the industry in Georgia, I reached out to California where the sumo started. They own the brand name Sumo. I said, we're starting an industry here in Georgia, and I think these farmers here can grow sumo, and then y'all wouldn't have to ship them here. And they said, no, we're not interested in that, and you can't grow that in Georgia. It's too humid. So this year at our conference, Mr. Sumo himself was our keynote speaker. And before he spoke, he flew in a few days ahead of time. And I said, okay, Roger, I'm going to show you around. And I took him to a Shiranui. I can't use the brand name Sumo because that's a brand name. So I took him to a Shiranui field and took him in our nursery. And he said, well, by George, you can grow Shiranui here. So it's amazing how Georgia is more similar in the citrus world. I know we're not similar to California in so many ways, but in the citrus world, Georgia's like California. It's not like Florida. We don't have that sandy soil, and we're like California. So what you're growing in California can be grown here. And Shiranui is one of those brands. So when you go to the store this fall, and or if you want to come to our farm, we open our farm in November and let you come clip your own and have a whole experience doing that. But look for Shiranui, look for Sumo, look for Cara navel, look for Satsuma if you ever have one. It's amazing what all we're growing. I mean, I think we're up to about 15 varieties. We sell 100+ varieties in our nursery, but those are a lot of collector items that people want in Maine or Washington State. But as far as commercial growers, navels, University of Georgia has 4 varieties. University of Georgia is hiring a citrus breeder. They just hired a research specialist. So when you start putting money into universities and research in your state, it's here to stay. When we first started in this citrus industry, people kind of scoffed at us and said, well, you can't grow citrus in Georgia. And now we know we can. You just got to prove some things in life, that citrus had to be one of them. Let's see. I think I can stop there. The name of our farm is Joe Nina Farm. We open in the fall. We have a clip and sip. You come clip your own and sip our juices. And we have ice cream, but I'm not going to add dip to the equation. But yeah, it's a great experience. If you've never been in the orange grove and you want to be in a Georgia orange grove, go find yourself a U-pick, or we call it U-clip because the satsuma cannot be picked. Most citrus can't be picked because it pulls out the belly button. So, questions for me?
Where's your experiment station?
Where's the what now?
The experiment station that supports the citrus grows.
Well, the breeder that they're going to hire is going to be at the University of Georgia Griffin campus because they want to get the breeder away from any potential disease. So remember the Bible Belt of where we grow citrus? Well, Griffin's up here, so they figured that's far enough away. The research specialist is going to be in Tifton. And we hired her from Florida. So she has citrus experience.
She associated with ABAC?
I'm sorry?
Is she associated with ABAC?
Probably.
No, she'll be a UGA, she's a PhD in Florida. She was born in Georgia, grew up in Georgia, went to the University of Georgia, got her PhD. I'm not sure if that came from Georgia, but she wanted to come home and she's working on citrus in Florida. It was like a win, get her if we can. So she's coming.
Two questions. Where did the name of your farm come from? Where did all that?
Jonana, that's my husband's parents. I didn't know them. So, they died when my husband was young. But, I tell people, I never met him, but I do know him. I said that wrong. I never met him, but I do know him because, I work with him and we're on the farm where they started, so.
Wonderful name for your farm. The next question is, do you see the, industry moving north as climate change and, climate temperature zones move north? Have you seen that start happening or?
Yes, already. I don't know if I can get back to that slide that has the state, but we used to say Cordele was as far north as you can go. But we're seeing, Americas. We've got groves in Webster County, which is on up there. So we are seeing it push up. And one of the first things that the breeder is going to do is to work on more cold hardy varieties. We need the whole state to be yellow or orange. You had a question, sir?
I was just asking, you were talking about Florida, 80% of the crops they destroy there. What are you doing in Georgia to keep that not moving here, and what is Florida doing to try to, is it disease or is it, what caused that?
Well, Florida first had citrus greening in 2005. And they said, yeah, we got this disease. We got it. And they kind of sat back and weren't proactive. So we are trying, the industry leaders are trying to get ahead of the game and implement some things like California has done. And Florida will tell you, don't wait like we did and wait until it's killed your industry. Get ahead of it. Put things in place like inspections in the field. There's a Tamarexia wasp that will kill the psyllid that eats it. So if we can, and in California, they released it, that wasp in LA County, and it ate them and killed them, and now they're thinking about not doing surveys anymore because there's no more psyllids. So that's the kind of thing we're trying to get ahead of, so we're not sitting back like, because Florida leadership will tell you, my counterparts there will say, you got to do it now. I know people think you're crazy for wanting to do all this, implementing these different things, but if you want to have an industry, see, Florida was juice. They were not fresh fruit. In Georgia, we're all fresh fruits. We don't want the juice. I mean, it's not that we don't want it, but that's not our primary goal. You always have a juice industry for ones that you can't sell them fresh. But yeah, that's a good question. We want to make sure we get it. We'd love to implement some things that say, and I tell people that buy trees from us, if you buy a tree and something starts looking funny with it, send me a picture. If I think it's citrus green and I'm gonna pay to have it tested, And if it's got citrus screening, I'm gonna pay to replace your tree. Because it's worth it to me. If the industry goes by the wayside, then my business goes too. So it's a good thing for people to, you know, replace a tree. We had some growers in Grady County. They brought in 89 trees from Florida, dug them up, brought them across the state line. Said they didn't know they couldn't do that. Well, they started looking funny. They called their county extension agent. Agent goes out, takes pictures, sends them to me, and said, what do you think? And I said, oh, I think those trees need to be tested because something's not good. And it was citrus greening. So then we got to convince a homeowner who has no requirement to dig up trees, to let us dig up those trees and replace. First they said, no, heck no, these trees are mine and you're not doing that. And then we had a conversation about how you don't want to be that person that destroys the industry. So that was kind of a game changer. But yes. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Last question.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, you were talking about like Lowe's, all the trees they get, are they from the states or overseas, and how they test it is, if y'all, you know, you're talking about, we gotta go through all this safety and stuff, so.
Yeah, Lowe's and they're grown by two nurseries who are friends of ours. They are certified trees. They're good trees, except that they're not cold hardy. Yeah, so they're good trees.
Well, before you sit down, we would like to have you sign this book. We have a rotary pen for you that you can keep, and this is our Jill's Book program, and we donate this to our local library.
Wonderful. Yeah, so where do you want me to sign it? Down at the
Sign it
bottom?
right here.
Oh, right there.
Yeah. All right.
Well, thank y'all so much for having me. If you have any questions afterwards, I'd be happy to call. There you go. Cheers.
Thank you. Thank you. That was very
All
fascinating.
right, you keep the book, I keep the pen.
Exactly.
Your husband's mother was teacher, was
42 years.
she taught me. That's not a recommendation for her. Oh, not a good excuse.
Everybody have a good week.
Yep.